Oh, called. Hi everyone, it's Claire here and Ellen. Now, I put out a message in my Facebook group because I'd had so many questions via Ellen, via messages on YouTube and Facebook. And I thought I would do a Q&A video. So I was seeing if anyone had any other questions. And it turns out there are tons and tons of questions about our Ellen, who is right there. So I thought I would do a smaller, separate video before I film my Q&A, featuring what everyone wants to know about Ellen. So the first one we have about Ellen is from Louise V. I'm going to use everyone's first name. If there's the same first name a few times, I'll add a letter of their second name just for privacy reasons. And she asked if I could ask Ellen one question and have her reply, what would it be, and vice versa. I think if I could ask Ellen a question. Ellen, do you want me to ask you a question? Hello. I would ask you, why do you make such loud screeching noises when you play with your snake toy? Anything? Would you like to comment? I think we're getting just because she does. But when Ellen plays with her snake toy, she howls like a wolf. She puts the snake's head in her mouth and she runs around the house howling with it in her mouth. She'll run up the stairs and the snake part is going between her legs, up the stairs with it, screeching, screeching, goodness knows what the neighbours ever think. Run down the stairs again, screeching, screeching. Now, I have tried to capture this on video for you. I can't even count the times now since I started this YouTube video channel. And every time I lift the camera to her, she drops the snake. But I'm going to continue working on that. And I think if Ellen could ask me a question. Ellen, do you want to ask me a question? I think that is what she's thinking right now. I think Ellen would ask me, why do I not feed her the absolute second I get up in the morning? Because there's no excuse for it. And I think that would be her first port of call. She's big on the food. The next question is from Jin, and she asks, how old is Ellen? Ellen is just about 9. Then we have from Becky, where did we get Ellen? We got Ellen when we went into it was our 1-year anniversary and we were going to Tunbridge Wells. And on the way there, we saw a pet shop and we needed some hamster food. So we decided to stop and go and have a look in there. In the front of the shop, there was some black kittens, which were gorgeous. And while my husband was getting the food, I was playing about the kittens. The woman obviously thought I was interested and came up to me and was like, do you want to see the smaller ones out the back that came in today? But by the way, they're more expensive. Now, as someone who is very passionate about cat rescue, neutering, not breeding extra animals when we have so many that are in rescue centres, this kind of set alarm bells off for me because the black ones were small enough. They were about the age that they could be weaned and away from their mum. And I was like, what the hell? What do you mean smaller? So grabbed my husband out the back, and she had a rabbit's indoor plastic cage filled with teeny tiny kittens. Teeny tiny. Oh yes. Oh, we got Ellen's attention now. Teeny tiny kittens. Hello, baby. And one of those kittens was Ellen. All the rest were eating, so I could clearly see they were weaned. And Ellen was sitting in the litter tray. We should have known then that she was a bit of a screecher, shouldn't we, darling? And she was sitting there just looking up at us, squeaking and screeching. And I was like, looked at my husband, and my husband looked at me and he was like, we're taking that one, aren't we? And I was like, hell yeah. That kitten needs to be seen by a vet, and I'm not convinced it is weaned. And there's Ellen's face. Sorry about that. Oh, it is your video, so I'm going to let you do what you want, okay? So we got her, took her home. And every time we left the room, she screamed. She could not eat by herself. She didn't know how to drink water, so she had to be syringe fed or little drops from our fingers. And we realised that it was a bit odd that when we left, she freaked out. And when we were making noise, she didn't freak out at all. So at the vet's, I was like, she's not weaned. There's something a bit funky going on here. Can you have a look at her ears? Oh, and he was like, right, I'll do some tests. He grabbed this, silver tray things that looked like a kidney and started banging it. And she didn't react at all. She was just sitting there looking like cute and adorable. And he was like, oh gosh, I think she's deaf. So he looked in her ears, and luckily she wasn't deaf. She was just caked in ear mites, really down deep into the drum. You couldn't even see it from examining her ears because I had checked them at home. And she was completely clogged up with ear mites, had an ear infection. So she had medicine for that. And we had to put up with a week, didn't we, Ellen? A week of you screeching. And yeah. So she was screeching and screeching because she was deaf and couldn't hear us when we went in the other room, and she thought we'd abandon her. So then she could hear, and we weaned her and everything, and now she's happy and healthy. I did report the pet shop, and I have been back since because it's still open, and I've not seen any more kittens in there, have we, Ellen? No, and it's some years on now. No more kittens. Oh, you're so cute. So that's how we got Ellen. We had not planned to get a cat at that time. We had talked about a cat and we were planning to go to Cats Protection. And then we ended up with, Ishmael. Ishmael, stop it. Next, Ellen. Next, do I have to coax Ellen into my videos? And that's from Laurel. The answer to that is no. As you can see, she's quite happy here. This time I did say to her, come on, Ellen, on the table, and she got up here and she has stayed since. I'm not doing anything to keep her here. She is not treat motivated. As much as she loves her dinner, she does not respond to treats. And she also doesn't do what you want her to do you? No. She really is very independent in that way. She will not do something she doesn't want. She won't eat when she doesn't want to eat. She won't get in her pet carrier to go to the vets unless we trick her. She's very independent in that way. And she's very discerning with who she likes and who she doesn't like. A good example of that is my best friend. She absolutely doesn't like her one bit. She can't stand her, in fact. She gives her the worst evils and disappears when she arrives, even though she has known her for years of her life. So what's next, Ellen? Can we look at this piece of paper, please? Thank you. Okay, what is Ellen's favourite place to sleep? And that's from Jennifer. Ellen's favourite place to sleep is the bed. She likes to be right in the middle of the bed, in the middle of the duvet, and she is quite happy there for an entire day, aren't you? Because you're a lazy bum. A very cute but very lazy bum. Next is from Sandra, and she asks, what is Ellen's favourite toy? It is her snake. Ellen's very weird with toys and play. She, unlike other cats, will not play with the toys on a stick. You know, like the type that Jackson Galaxy uses, My Cat from Hell. She won't play with those. That is much too much effort. Why should she move to play? She's not going to jump around. And I think some of that also comes from the fact that she was taken from her mother far too early. And she wasn't yet in the stage of playing with her siblings. Being the runt of the litter as well, she hadn't learnt to play. So even though we tried from a very young age with her, she would just look at it like, what the hell are you putting that stick thing in my face for? Get it out of the way. I don't want to see it. And occasionally she will get a toy that she loves, like the snake, but it is random. We purchased that snake start of this year, and she did not touch it for several months. It just laid on the floor. And then one day she picked it up and she was off. Her normal toy of choice is a screwed up piece of paper, and then she puts that in her mouth and runs around the house howling like a wolf. Ellen, what are you doing? How have you managed to acquire a clip? Where did this come from? At least you're not trying to act innocent about it. Oh dear. Okay, what's next? Oh, do I have any plans to make videos just featuring Ellen? Well, here is one. As you can tell by the fact that everything is not focused properly, the camera's been knocked a million times, and Ellen's doing her own thing. I will continue to try and get the video of her playing. And if I do, I will pop that up on YouTube. One thing I will say is Ellen has had about 6 dating offers now from some very handsome cats, I have to say. She is currently not dating anyone, and I have shown her the photos, which she will be mulling over and looking at her options. So that's it from me and Ellen. Ellen, say goodbye to everyone. Okay, that's as much of a goodbye as you're going to get today, lovelies. So that's it from us. And, oh, we've actually got Daisy here. Let me try and move not too fast. She is pretty camera shy. She is a rescue and was not treated very well. Daisy, say hi to everyone. Oh, and this is Daisy, who is about 6 months younger than Ellen, and she came from Cats Protection. She's extremely loving. She loves strokes and everything, don't you, darling? But she does not like to be picked up at all.